the bar. We're going to go watch the Packers game. In Chicago, in Phoenix, there are Packer bars in every city. The difference is you. You fans make Green Bay and the Green Bay Packers a special place. So we just like to thank you. Thank you, Packers.
Guys, you played in a great historic game, and Mark, I mean, your career speaks for itself. You may have been slow in life, but you were pretty smart back there. Good. You made a couple of Pro Bowls and won a championship. And Lynn Dickey, it's always wonderful to see you. You quarterback with a great team, that 83 team, set the record offensively that later Aaron Rodgers, another guy, took your number and broke. And Paul Kaufman, you were one of the great tight ends in Packers history. Thank you for being here, guys. Packers Hall of Famer. Thank you, guys. Autographs will be happening in the Clancy's Jack Room.
What the heck is a Jack Room?
I can only imagine what that's like. But I would imagine that sooner or later, if it's what I think it is, we're going to have our two writers from Packers.com in there pretty soon. Especially if you can get a cold one in there. Mark, thank you much. That was great to have those guys out.
It really was. We're so fortunate on Packers, the history and tradition that we have, and the alumni, they're so supportive. It's really great. I wanted to just echo what Paul said. On behalf of our entire organization, thank you so much for your support. We are so fortunate. Every team in the league says we have the best fans in the league, but only the Packers can say it and mean it. As Dave Robinson said, our Packers, not only their fans, their owners. Yeah. We'll see you tomorrow. It'll be a great day, and let's get after the Cardinals. Thank you.
You may not realize it, but some of you are his boss. Do you realize that? Excuse me, I don't often do this, but there's a gentleman out in the crowd right across from me over there that is the spitting image of Mike Sherman, the former Packers head coach, who did such a great job here at Green Bay. I don't know if anybody's ever told you that, but you look a lot like Mike Sherman in his heyday. He was a great coach for the Packers, won a lot of games. Really, start signing autographs, sir. You might get a free meal out of that. At least you get a couple of pops, I don't know. Maybe in the Jack Room they'll give you something stronger than that. I have no idea. Folks, hey, listen, we got just a couple more minutes here. This is yours, right? I'm going to give this to you. Remind me to, or I'll walk out of it. Very nice Packers scarf. I think it could be had for a price, I would imagine. Everything's got a price on it around here. I want to welcome up tonight. Many of you follow the team on Packers.com, as you should, each and every day. We have with us here today Vic Ketchman, the editor of Packers.com, and Mike Smith, the lead writer. Come on up, guys. Grab that microphone right there. Sound box is cranking up. We're going to be back on stage in a few moments. Are they good or what? They're really good. But we wanted to get our perspective on the game from these two gentlemen. This is a big game tomorrow here in Arizona for the Green Bay Packers and the Arizona Cardinals. This is one of only two games this weekend that match teams each with double-digit wins. So 12 wins for Arizona, 10 wins for Green Bay. Big ball game coming up. Vic, let's start with you. What does this game mean?
Okay, it's all here in the standings. It's about the chase for the number 2 playoff seed, and that's a big deal. That's a real big deal. Now, it's not, I'm going to steal Mike's thunder a little bit, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. The Packers can get that number 2 seed and beat the Cardinals. That's big. Seahawks have to beat the Cardinals and the Packers have to beat the Vikings. That can happen. It can happen. But I think there's something a little more important. I think the Cardinals are on an 8-game winning streak. I think they're playing the best football in the NFL right now. And if the Packers can win this game tomorrow, if the Packers can stand toe-to-toe with the Cardinals, they make a statement. And it's not just a statement to all of us, it's a statement to themselves too. And the statement is, we can hang with anybody. The statement is, we can win it all.
Did he take all your thunder?
Most of it. Hey, no, I'll say this. I agree with Vic. I think the Cardinals are playing some of the best football in the NFL right now. I think it's up to the Packers tomorrow to play their best game of the season. I think that's what the Packers need to do. I don't know what you think, Wayne. I think the Packers' best game of the season was week 2 against Seattle. The way the offense played against a very tough defense, the way the defense played in a very big early season game. We haven't seen the Packers play that well against a quality opponent since then. And tomorrow is the day they have to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe the Kansas City game, like maybe, that was another one right after that. That was pretty good. But since then, it's been a struggle offensively. Go ahead, Victor.
The thing is that game against Seattle was week 2. That's so long ago. Denver is so long ago. Other than the standings, don't matter. How are you playing now? The playoffs aren't back in week 2. The playoffs aren't back in Denver in mid-season. The playoffs are coming up in a few weeks, and it's all about how you're playing right now. We're going to find out tomorrow how the Packers are playing right now.
Sounds like you guys brought your A game, right? Mike, I want to get an update from you a little bit on the injuries. We had a couple of adjustments today. It doesn't look like David Bakhtiari will go at left tackle this weekend, and Sam Shields still in the concussion protocol.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough. Sorry, it's going to be tough to match up against this wide receiver core for Arizona without Shields. Packers have good depth at cornerback. You all know about the young guys, Demarius Randall, Quinn Rollins, the first 2 draft picks. They're having tremendous rookie seasons. They need to bring their A game tomorrow. This is a tough matchup without your number 1 quarterback. But as Vic said, we'll find out. We'll find out what the Packers have. Don Barkley is probably going to have to play left tackle. Bakhtiari, who was downgraded to doubtful today. So Don Barkley's played a lot of football for this team. He's going to be ready to go. He's an important guy in this game too.
Mike and Wayne and everybody, in my opinion, if the Packers hadn't drafted Demarius Randall, remember how we all said, who? Another safety? If they hadn't drafted Demarius Randall, I don't think they're here today. I'm not sure that they are in the playoffs. The San Diego game, I don't know. Do they win that game without Demarius Randall?
ASU!
We don't know how many games. He's made plays in last week. It was a big play. It was a play that
ASU!
it keeps coming back to draft choices for this team. If you go through their star players in almost every case, they are drafted players. The Packers roster is like its fan base. It's homegrown.
All right, let me ask you guys one last point here as to go into this ball game. We know the offense has had to evolve maybe in a different way than we've seen in the last several years. What do you expect tomorrow from the offense? What are the keys for the offense in this ball game against Arizona? Very good defense.
It is a very good defense. There's no question about it. What I'd like to see is I'd like to see the Packers run the ball and stay committed to the run. I wrote earlier this week, if you look at the Arizona game a couple weeks ago against Minnesota, I know Minnesota's got Adrian Peterson. Minnesota was down by 10 points in the 4th quarter of that game, and what did they do? They stuck with the run. And and they came back and got that game tied up in the fourth quarter. Down 2 scores on the road in the fourth quarter. It takes a lot of guts to stick with the run. The Packers have to run the ball for 4 quarters tomorrow.
You know, what Mike said is absolutely the truth. The 2 teams that have beaten the Cardinals this year are the 2 teams that rush for the most yards. St. Louis, 164, and Pittsburgh, 141. The Vikings only rushed for 79 yards, and they almost won that game. The way you beat the Cardinals is by running the ball. And one more thing. That's right. Run the ball! Yeah, run the ball!
You got one more thing?
I got one more thing. Not that thing. I forget what I was going to say.
So did I. Vic Hedgeman, Mike Spofford, Packers.com. Check